Donald Trump last month warned that if he were indicted, there would be potential death and destruction. Well, so far today, thankfully, that did not happen. In fact, the number of people out to protest were small by most stretches. That's not to say this wasn't a bit of a circus out there, with clowns even. Republican Congressman George Santos showed up. So did Congresswoman from Georgia, Marjorie Taylor Greene. But perhaps this indictment of 34 felonies by a former president for trying to hush up a porn star is nothing to take to the streets for. Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon with more on the reaction in Lower Manhattan. Sonia.
Bill, with an unprecedented case comes unprecedented tension from those who feel strongly either way for or against the former president. The mayor and police commissioner you heard in the last few days urging people to keep it peaceful, and for the most part they have. Right now the activity is winding down, but earlier when Trump was in court, demonstrators for and against this case put on quite a show for the cameras here to cover it all. While there is celebration of Trump's arrest, most of those not here to support Trump say they're supporting the justice system.
We demand justice now!
Like the Manhattan grand jury that indicted a former president for the first time.
He's innocent until proven guilty, like all other Americans, and he needs to face the indictments.
I need to be here, and I need to voice my opinion that it's so important to make people that commit crimes to extend the hand of the law and make them pay for the consequences of their actions.
That doesn't mean there isn't taunting. Even though barriers separate his supporters from those showing their distaste for Trump, there was the occasional confrontation when demonstrators crossed over, and officers sometimes stepping in. But Trump supporters here argue that any turnout, especially the big media turnout, will only help the former president, even if he's convicted.
Even if they get him on a few charges, you know, everybody knows it's bogus charges.
This man from Brooklyn says he went to Washington on January 6th and became a supporter back in 2016.
The media has not stopped covering him. It's been nonstop since he won the election, and all the impeachments and all this circus stuff with the courts. It's, I think it's publicity for him.
His support is already growing. You can see it in the polls.
And you can see the crowd here behind me has been thinning over the last couple of hours with the former president now long gone. The barricades have been coming down as a much smaller crowd remains peaceful.